Hey everyone, it's Duffy. Oh, sorry about that. Hey everyone, it's Duffy. My switcher's not working so well tonight. It's Sunday night, time for another edition of Bike Week Nation. So thanks for being a part of Bike Week Nation. I appreciate it. A lot going on tonight. Let's get right to the news. The big news is that the Springfield motorcycle show is back on, and they are allowing colors and motorcycle club paraphernalia. I don't know if anyone watched the show last night. The owners of the Eastern Exposition Center laid down out of nowhere a quick rule saying that they were going to prohibit motorcycle clubs from selling their T-shirts, hats, and other regalia at the Springfield Motorcycle Show, and there was a huge uproar. And Bike Week Nation and the rest of the motorcycle community made their voices heard, and the owners of the Eastern Exposition Center changed their mind and reversed themselves. So this is good news, and it shows that when our community, stands together and voices our opinion, and makes a good argument, that we can change things. So that leads me to my next point, which is the upcoming hearing up in New Hampshire. There's a pending piece of legislation to impose a helmet law in New Hampshire. So if that's something that you're interested in, go to the New Hampshire Motorcycle Rights Organization webpage. They've got a lot of information on it. There's going to be a public hearing in early February. So if you can go to that public hearing, go to the public hearing. But you can also send a letter. So they'll link you up to the legislature, and they'll tell you who your lawmaker is. And if this is something you're concerned about, you should send a letter to the legislature, and we can make our voices heard, just like we did with the Springfield Motorcycle Show. All right, and it worked. So we can do it. So wanted to get that quick news out of the way. That's all great news. It just sort of shows that we can have an impact when we want to. So good work in Bike Week Nation. Good work for everyone who called the Eastern States Exposition and let them know that this wasn't right. That it was basically, stereotyping us in our community. So good job, everyone. Let's go to this week's Museum Minute. Anyone who watches the show knows that my good buddy Nick Tamposi up in Laconia funded a trip to the Harley-Davidson Museum, and I've done a bunch of segments based on my travels there. It was a great, great time. So this week's segment is about the custom culture exhibit at the Harley-Davidson Museum, and it sort of really celebrates people who customize their Harley-Davidson. So let's get right to this week's Museum Minute.
Look at this one. There's this one here.
The custom culture part of the museum is dedicated to personal expression. Things like the 13-foot-long King Kong,
Everyone, sorry if you can hear my little Jack Russell Terrier Devin barking in the background. He's just barking at someone going by outside. So again, we're going to do museum minutes. So we're either going to do a museum minute or we're going to do Davidson on Davidson. We are lucky enough to have Bill Davidson come and talk with us while we're at the museum. So every week you'll either see a segment on Bill Davidson talking about the history of Harley-Davidson, or you'll see a museum minute segment where I show you different parts of the museum. And I really highly recommend you visiting the Harley-Davidson Museum. It's really a great, great museum. And it's not just about our culture and motorcycles. It's really about, an American manufacturing icon. Harley-Davidson, went from 1914 to, operating in a shed outside of their, the back of their house. And within 10 years, they were the biggest motorcycle maker in the world. And it's really truly an American success story. And it's an example of American exceptionalism. It's sort of what makes our country great. And so if you get a chance to go out to Milwaukee and check it out, I highly advise it. It was a great, great trip. And another new segment I'm going to be doing, this page is really all about, motorcycle rallies and music and whatever else I'm kind of interested in. So I'm going to start doing a regular music segment on the show. Last summer during Laconia Motorcycle Week, I had the chance to videotape my buddy Rob Randlett. He won the up-and-coming Country Musician of the Year in New Hampshire last year. He's really talented. He has a band called the EXP Band, but he also plays by himself from time to time. And he was doing a solo gig at the Roadhouse during Bike Week last June. So I went by and taped him doing a song, and this is his song, Nightwalker. So I hope you guys like it. This is this week's music segment.
Last night I was just to kill. Have a drink, maybe pop a few pills. It was just another Friday night. Well, I was ready to party, ready to fight. She had a long curls and her curvy hips. There's all desire on her fingertips. She was not your average girl. She wore the big old diamond and a ring of pearls. She was a night walker, smooth talker. Wanted to play, you better take out the wallet and be prepared to pay. She was a night walker, she was a smooth talker. If you want to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. Hanging with the boys, playing pool, making some noise. Then a band of girls came in, they were ready to party, ready to sin. They had a long curls and a curvy hips, coach clutch wrapped around their wrists. They were not your average girls, they were a big old diamond and a ring of pearls. They were night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. She was a night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. Come on. It's 1:45. Woke up next to you. Reached down and my money was gone. It was in your hands. Why couldn't I resist when she spoke the way she kissed? She was not your average girl. She was a big old diamond and a ring of pearls. She was a night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. She was a night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. It's 1:45. Woke up next to you. Reached down and my money was gone. It was in your hands. Why couldn't I resist when she spoke the way she kissed? She was not your average girl. She was a big old diamond and a ring of pearls. Night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay. Night walker, smooth talker. If you wanted to play, you better take out your wallet and be prepared to pay.
All right. So that was my buddy Rob during Bike Week last year. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you get a chance to check him out, he's playing at the Granite City Music Hall in a couple of weeks. He's opening up for a band called Low Cash. So check him out. He's an awesome guy. He's a local talent. So check him out now while you can, because he's on his way up. This week's Laconia Rewind segment features the Flaunt Girls. Now, anyone who goes to the Roadhouse during Motorcycle Week knows the Flaunt Girls. They're in aeronautics, performance troupe that plays every night at the Roadhouse. So let's get right to this week's Roadhouse Rewind.